Look, I just headshot the charged medic, mom, get the camera, etc. Hey, it's Red Robot, we're gonna talk about the sniper changes. All up changes are pretty good, starting off with the bizarre bargain. No longer loses heads on miss, but collecting a head requires a headshot kill and not just a headshot. They've also increased the initial charge penalty to 50% slower charge, so it takes 2 headshot kills to get back to normal speed and 6 kills for a 200% charge rate. And this is a really cool change. One of the things that frustrates me about playing sniper is that there's so many times when you don't even have to headshot. I mean, body shots are just as good with the Machina. And this change is a lot more fun, like makes going for headshots actually worth it, and makes the sniper as a class a whole more fun to play by extension. What else changed? We got a change to the Sydney Sleeper, applies durability on all scope shots, but the duration scales with charge duration from 2 to 8 seconds. So if you just quick scope someone with a durability, they're gonna have durability. With the Sydney Sleeper, they're gonna be durability for 2 seconds, and if you charge it all the way, 8 seconds, which is a pretty nice change, I reckon. They removed the increased damage taken penalty on the Cozy Camper, which doesn't really matter because the weapon's still terrible, and it will be terrible. It's pretty much impossible to make a passive for the sniper that doesn't just break the game in some way. I mean, the Darwin's Danger Shield and the Razorback, which I'm using right now, are both terrible weapons and really stupid. I kind of really dislike them. The Cozy Camper is a little bit better, but it's still useless. And the Bushwhacker, they changed the 20% fire vulnerability to a 20% damage vulnerability while active. And this is a really nice change. There are some really dumb situations where if you have Girardi on someone, you can just one-shot them with the Bushwhacker. Like if you're a close range with a scout, and the scout has Girardi on him, you can kill him in one shot. But before, he couldn't kill you with one scattergun. Now he can, which is really, really neat. The damage vulnerability makes you susceptible to being one hit by a lot of other things, which is nice because you're able to one hit things by reward, I guess. Yeah, I found playing with the Bizarre Bargain to be the most fun of all the changes, and it's a really rewarding weapon to use, and it feels like I really like the feeling of snowballing when you're playing TF2. I love weapons like the Islander, the Bizarre Bargain that allow you to gain heads, the Airstrike, weapons that start out weak, but if you're really careful at the start and you play your cards right, you can end up having a more powerful weapon in the end, which is really, really cool. I really enjoy those kind of. Another big change that I talked about in the Demo Man video is the removal of damage spread. And this is super important for Sniper because while he had the 150 damage stable headshots before, now he has consistent 50 damage body shots, which means there's not going to be any of those frustrating situations where you headshot a soldier for 150 and then body shot him for 49 and he survives. Really, really annoying things like that. It's made Sniper a lot more pleasurable to play because you're dealing with a lot more reliable damage values. It's also important to note the small sniper nerfs involved in some of the changes to the other weapons, such as the Natasha and the Brass Beast. Sniper has situations where he cannot one-shot fully overhealed heavies, which is a really interesting change. I've always felt that snipers have had it easy in TF2, and having an enemy that they can't one-shot is nice. It's kind of breaking away from the game's original design, how all the numbers were perfectly stacked up so that Sniper could one-shot every class at a full charge. But now I feel like Sniper's got enough extra toys in his box to deal with those kind of threats, and it's time to give the Heavier a turn to perhaps do something without being instantly crushed the moment he steps on the battlefield. All up, I'm really impressed with this update for Sniper. Not too much has changed, but the little things that have changed fix some issues that existed for quite a while, and buff some weapons that would otherwise be 100% useless. Really love the new Bizarre Bargain, as I've said, and I look forward to see what Valve will do with the Sniper in the future, and what other places and ways they can change him to make the game more fun for everyone. Well then, I will see you guys tomorrow.